wobble. What is the solution? The one who upholds Dharma, righteousness, sustains the institution. The fundamental principle for governance and leadership is Dharma. It is subtle. Now you may ask, I have certain values. I need to uphold the values. Every institution has certain philosophy, certain values, certain beliefs, certain core ideologies. No one is asking you to move away from that. But when it comes to running an institution, when it is an institution, see the woods, not the trees. That is the fundamental principle of leadership. See the woods and not the trees. Sometimes larger interest will make sense to governance. What is that Dharma? What are those governing principles of sustenance? What are those lessons of leadership from the Mahabharata? Let us quickly go through. What did Krishna do to win the war? What did he do? Krishna clearly understood the larger picture. He saw the woods. He did not look for the trees. He understood what is he going to achieve at the end of it. And he went for a peace talk. Look at that. It's a beautiful sentence which you can remember. The road to peace is not there at all. There is no road to peace. Peace is the road. Peace is the road. There is no road to peace. He prepared the Pandavas for the war, counseled them. They were all very shaky. So prepare internally. Your own management, your own teachers, your own leaders, prepare them eternally for a war. Anticipate that a war can break any time. Be prepared. The leader was prepared well to take over. Result orientation, Krishna taught them. Risk management, he taught Arjuna this. Conflict management, he did that in the Kurukshetra war through Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna asked, how can I shoot an arrow at my gurus? He said, I am telling you, do it. Dharma. Sensitivity to the guardian principles of Dharma. Preparing Arjuna as a leader. Mentoring the Pandavas. This is the second guardian principles of governance. Mentor the leaders. It is good to start an institution. Trusts are made for that. They start the institutions. Pass on, create successive leadership. It is extremely important that the institution should not be person-oriented. It should be community-oriented. Then ensure a strategic approach. Preparation for leadership and governance. The first thing what Mahabharata talks about before the Kurukshetra war was analyzing one's own strengths and weaknesses. Let all the managements analyze. What are my strengths? Irrespective of any compromises that you have made in the past or going to make in the future, sit and decide, write it down. What are your pluses? What are your minuses? Your pluses, what very often happens in educational institutions is that you are shying away from your pluses. You never highlight your pluses. You think that, oh, it is my job, I am doing it. But unless and otherwise you benchmark your pluses, the X, Y, Z out there in the society will not know you. Little amount of publicity about the good things that you do is required in the 21st century because people have no time. Improving upon the weaknesses, that's what next you will do. Learning the art of leading from the wise men. Keep always the correct people around you. Kabir in one of his dohas used to say to leadership, a lesson to leadership, what he says is that always a leader should keep the most vicious person who will always criticize him nearby. Then those people always will say, yes sir, very good madam, बहुत बढ़िया किया आपने. Don't keep such people near you. Keep always the person who will criticize you, because you will be alert. One of the best lessons of Kabir: develop the skills. If you don't have the skills, develop it. You have to be a student. Governance number principle, learn. Learn yourself. The teamwork, extremely important, and that is what is lacking in many of the trusts and schools. Teamwork is a problem, primarily because the principals, I'm not talking about the good principals who are sitting here, this, whatever I'm talking right now doesn't concern you at all, but there are some principals who do not create a second line leader. They do not pass on their knowledge to a second line leader. The reason? Fear. Fear. Will I lose my position? If you lose your position, if you have the fear, believe me, you are not a leader at all. You can be a leader all the time, whether somebody follows you or not. As I said in the beginning, a leader is from behind. You empower your people. The people, when they go in the front of you, people, onlookers will know who has guided them. You are behind. That's what Krishna was doing. Krishna did not go and fight the war. He was behind. He never went ahead. Selecting the right individuals and forming a core team. Very important. Right people at the right time, for the right cause, at the right moment, will make the fourth lesson of governance, great governance. You need a core team whom you can rely upon. In the Mahabharata war, when Kauravas went and asked for neighboring countries, I want this army, I want this army, I want this army, I want that army. Everything went ahead. It was fine, perfectly wonderful with Kauravas. What did Pandavas do? They did not go to any other place. The 5 people were there, 5 Pandavas were there. Their own relations and such sambandhis, whom you call it, Drupata, Drishtadyumna, and such people were all called, who have got a like-minded working culture, who will stand like thick and thin, through thick and thin. Such people were called. Make your team very strong. Identifying the skills, Duryodhana identified the skill of Karna. He knew one of these days, this Karna is going to be defeating Arjuna or put him into difficulty. So Karna's skills, though he was a Sutaputra, it was identified by the person. So very often what we think is that, hey, unko kaise de sakta hai hum? We can't. Doesn't. No. Wherever he comes from, that doesn't matter. If he has the skills, yes. Right people at the right job, I said, right goal, right leadership. One team and one goal. Extremely important. Then, what is happening? My dear friend, answer. Individual motives. In an organization, in a trust, or in a school, related always, okay, with what I am talking about. In Mahabharata, Duryodhana's goal was to defeat Pandavas. Dushasana wanted Draupadi. Somebody else wanted something else. So the Kauravas' goal